Incredible night. CEO discovers life-changing love with the hidden girl of the crystal shoe. The lights sparkled like stars as Sam Bennett stepped into the charity gala, dressed to the nines in a tailored suit. The hum of chatter mixed with the strum of a live band, creating an atmosphere alive with possibility. But amid the glamorous scene, he felt an emptiness gnawing at him. This gathering of the elite, with its hollow smiles and empty conversations, felt more like an obligation than a celebration. As the CEO of a thriving tech startup, he had the world at his fingertips, yet his heart remained untouched. Then he saw her, Clara. She moved gracefully between tables, balancing trays with glee evident on her face. Her passion shone brighter than the polished silverware around her. Sam caught her eye, and for a moment, the bustling gala faded into silence. Her smile, radiant and genuine, sparked something within him that had long been dormant. Here was someone untouched by corporate ambition, someone real. When their paths crossed later within the grand hall, he found himself spellbound. Clara's laughter was infectious, illuminating the gloom that had settled in the corners of his soul. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, sharing bits about dreams and life as if they'd known each other forever. While he spoke about his lofty goals, she opened up about her desires to bake pastries that warmed the hearts of her family. The weight of his expectations faded, replaced by the ease of connection. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the night unfolded, the laughter turned into something deeper. Sam felt vulnerable, weaving through layers of his carefully constructed facade. Clara shared stories of her siblings, drawing tears to her eyes as she spoke about their struggles. For the first time, he yearned to embrace someone without fearing judgment. Their worlds seemed miles apart, his high-rise office building and her modest home, but they stood on common ground, anchored by their hopes. But once the gala lights dimmed and the night seeped into dawn, reality surged back. Questions loomed over both of them, shadows creeping in from the edges. The media buzzed as a photograph of Clara went viral, the hidden girl of the crystal shoe. Social media profiles dished out opinions, and Clara's struggling family now faced the glare of scrutiny. Sam's family, confined to old traditions and expectations, raised eyebrows at his new love interest. As they ventured deeper into love, tension brewed as Clara faced skepticism from her siblings, made wary by wealthy outsiders, while Sam was torn by family loyalty. Clara feared, what am I compared to his world? And Sam wrestled with the haunting shadows of societal pressure. When his mother's message arrived, insinuating that Clara must earn acceptance, an ultimatum hung in the air, thick with unspoken words. As Sam stood on the precipice of choice, the air felt electric. Love or loyalty? Clara's bright spirit could change him forever. Yet would he dare to defy his family's expectations? The question lingered painfully between them, echoing in their hearts and leaving everything poised in uncertainty. Would he choose love, shattering the barriers expected of him? Or would he retreat back to a life that felt increasingly hollow? The morning sun spilled through the windows, casting a warm light over Sam's luxurious penthouse. It should have felt like a refuge, but instead it suffocated him. He paced like a caged animal, running through a mental checklist. Work, family obligations, Clara. Each item weighed heavily, like stones in his pockets. He picked up his phone, pausing as he hesitated over Clara's name. Part of him wanted to reach out, to share his thoughts, to seek her warmth. Yet, he feared their delicate connection might shatter under scrutiny. What if his family's disapproval twisted her smile into something unrecognizable? It was a risk he hadn't fully calculated. Finally, he tapped her name and sent a simple message. Can we meet? We need to talk. His heart raced as the words disappeared into the digital void. Would she sense his hesitation? Was he about to pull her into a world that might only hurt her? Minutes felt like hours as he waited. Finally, his phone buzzed. I'd love to. Where and when? Clara's enthusiasm leaped off the screen. Sam felt a hesitant smile tug at his lips. They agreed to meet at her favorite cafe, a quaint little spot with chipped cafe tables, and the rich aroma of fresh pastries wafting through the air. As he arrived, the bell above the door tinkled and Clara stood there, a beacon of warmth amidst the hustle and bustle. Her sun-kissed hair framed her face, and her smile lit up the dim room. Just like that, the weight on Sam's shoulders felt lighter. They hugged, and when she pulled away, her eyes sparkled with a mixture of curiosity and concern. "Hey, you okay? You looked a little tense in your message," she said, sliding into a chair across from him. "Yeah," he sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I've been thinking about us. About everything." Clara's expression shifted, becoming more serious. "What do you mean? Is something wrong?" "It's my family," he began, choosing his words carefully. "My mom. She has made it clear that I need to choose wisely. They think I shouldn't be with someone like you." The air thickened and Clara recoiled slightly. "Someone like me?" He felt the mistake the moment it escaped his lips. "No, that's not what I meant," he rushed to clarify. I mean they've got this idea about wealth and status. And they're scared. They'll never believe that someone like you could make me happy." Clara blinked fast, emotions swirling. "Sam, I'm not a charity case. I'm fighting for my family, doing everything I can to help them. I thought you saw me for who I am." "I do. I swear." He leaned forward, desperate for her to understand. "But I'm torn. You mean everything to me, but my family, they're insistent." Clara's shoulders sagged as she absorbed his words. "So you're saying that you might just prioritize them over us? Is that really what you want?" "No. I want you. His voice faltered. "I don't want to hurt you." Tears glistened in Clara's eyes. "It feels like you're hiding me away, Sam. Like I'm a dirty secret instead of a part of your life. If we're going to do this, we both need to be brave." He looked around the cafe and suddenly, the laughter around them felt louder, overwhelming the intimacy they had shared. It was just a world of expectations and judgment. But what if don't say anything else if it's just going to bring us back to this. Clara stood, pulling her jacket tight around her. "I need to think about what this means for us." She walked away, leaving him staring at her empty chair, heart pounding and mind racing. Would he take the leap into the unknown with her? Or would he pull away, returning to the safety of his old life? As he sank back into his seat, the possibility of a future faded. Would he allow his family's beliefs to dictate his happiness? What awaited him at the crossroads of family and love? The question loomed, heavy like a storm cloud about to break. Would he summon the courage to fight for Clara, or allow the tide of expectation to carry him back into solitude? Sam's heart hammered against his chest as he watched Clara disappear into the bustling street outside. He sat frozen for what felt like an eternity, staring at the empty chair across from him. The cafe's chatter faded into a dull hum, the warmth of the pastries around him hardly registering. It was as if the entire cafe knew of his turmoil, buzzing with whispers of judgment he could almost hear. He picked up his coffee, letting the steam swirl around his face. With each breath the bitter smell grounded him, but the echo of Clara's words echoed louder. "I thought you saw me for who I am." Did he? Suddenly restless, Sam jumped up and left a few bills on the table. The money crumpled as he stormed out into the crisp air. He wouldn't let doubt dictate his life anymore. His phone buzzed again in his pocket, a reprieve from the spiraling thoughts in his head. It was a message from his mother. "We need to talk. Your father and I are worried about you." The weight in his chest tightened. Worry. It was a mask for control. Another string, another expectation to uphold. Turning his phone off, he marveled at the irony. His family believed they were protecting him, but in reality, they were suffocating him. Sam walked with purpose, his surroundings a blur. He thought of Clara's determination, how she never backed down from challenges, how her spirit inspired him to confront his fears. He had to find her, to cut through the murky waters of expectation, and step into the light of authenticity. After a few moments of racing thoughts, he found himself outside her apartment building, heart beating steadily now with purpose. He rang her buzzer, waiting anxiously, praying she'd answer, praying she wouldn't turn him away. "Who is it?" came Clara's voice, low and hesitant. "It's me, Sam. Please, can we talk?" There was a pause, an eternity in which he questioned everything. But then the buzzing sound of the latch clicked open. He took the stairs 2 steps at a time, the adrenaline flooding his system. Reaching her door, he knocked urgently. Clara opened it, her expression a mix of surprise and caution. What are you doing here? I came to apologize. I thought about everything you said, and he took a deep breath, swallowing the nerves. You deserve to be recognized in my life, and I don't want to hide you. Not anymore. Her eyes softened, but they still held a flicker of uncertainty. It's not just that, Sam. It's about being brave, about making choices that matter. I can't be in a relationship where I'm not valued, where I'm treated like a secret. I know. I don't want to lose you, he said, taking a step closer. I had it all wrong before. I was scared of my family's expectations, but you're everything. I want you to be part of my life, who I really am. As he spoke, he could see the tiniest hint of hope flickering within her. Clara glanced away for a moment, gathering her thoughts. It's not easy, Sam. My life is complicated too, and I don't want to be someone you feel you have to choose. I want to be with you fully or not at all. I understand. I want you to choose me, to be brave together. Her breath hitching softly, Clara's gaze met his. There was a moment there charged with raw emotion. He took another step forward, leaning into the vulnerability they both needed to embrace. Would this be a moment of transformation, or just another step back into fear? She hesitated, heart flickering between the fear of the past and the hope of the future. Moments stretched, and he wondered if he dared to reach out and bridge the gap between them. Could he summon the strength to fully embrace the love that was right in front of him? As they stood there on the brink of what could change everything, Clara finally spoke out into the charged silence. Then show me you're brave enough to fight for us. Her challenge hung in the air between them like a tightrope strung over uncertainty. Would he take the leap? The choice was his as he stood at the edge, heart racing. Would he choose love, no matter the cost, or would he retreat back into the shadows of his family's expectations? The air was thick with unspoken words as Sam stood there, his heart thumping like a drum. Clara's challenge weighed heavily on him, each second stretching out, filled with tension. Could he truly embrace her, accept the messiness that often came with genuine love, and turn away from the suffocating grip of his family's expectations? He took a deep breath, feeling the coolness of the evening seep into his bones. It wasn't just about him anymore. It was about Clara, about the possibility of a life unshackled from fear. I want to fight for us, he finally said, voice steady despite the storm swirling inside him. Clara studied him, her expression a mix of hope and apprehension. What does that look like for you, Sam? Are you ready to face your parents? To stop hiding who I am? The intensity in her voice ignited something deep within him. Yes, I want to be proud of who I love, he replied, the words flowing more easily now. I want them to know you not just as my girlfriend, but as the amazing person you are. Her eyes gleamed, a flicker of belief sparking to life. Scary, you know? I've spent so long feeling like I'm just too much for people. Like I'll always be a shadow in someone else's life. No more shadows, Sam insisted, taking another step toward her. No more hiding. You are bright and deserving of all the love in the world. The truth of his own words pierced through the fog of uncertainty surrounding them. Clara's breath caught as she shifted, just a fraction closer. And if they reject us? What if they do? He leaned in, their gazes locked in a moment that felt almost electric. We'll build our own life, our own family. One where we don't have to answer to anyone but ourselves. An emotional silence settled around them, each heartbeat echoing the promises unspoken. Finally, Clara stepped forward, letting the walls she had built come crashing down. Then show me, Sam. Show me that we can be loud in a world that tries to silence us. He reached out, cups of his hands around her face, thumb brushing against her cheek. I will. I swear I will fight for every part of you. As he spoke those words, he felt a sense of resolve swell within him. Ghosts of doubt began to dissipate, replaced with a burgeoning hope. For too long, he had pulled away from the chance of loving her fully, but now he could taste freedom in the air, of freedom that came from being true to oneself. Clara leaned into his touch, her eyes brimming with what could only be described as a mix of hope and fear. What if we start tonight? She whispered, her vulnerability breaking through. What do you mean? Sam asked, heart quickening as he sensed the shift in their dynamics. Let us tell your parents. Meet me at Flora's, a little Italian place across town. We can have dinner and we'll let them know we're together, no holds barred. The audacity in her suggestion sent a rush of adrenaline through him. Tonight? Yes, she said, a steely determination lining her tone. They have to know the real you. We can do this together. Sam felt a mix of terror and exhilaration. Could he really share this part of himself, exposing both him and Clara to the scrutiny of his family? But within him a voice roared yes. With a nod he felt clarity settle into his gut. Okay, let us do it. And as they prepared to leave, Sam couldn't shake the feeling of liberation that was washing over him. But would his parents accept their authenticity, or would they impose their own expectations once more? The pathway to their future felt like a delicate balancing act. But for the first time he felt strong enough to walk it, to challenge everything and claim what he wanted. Before they walked down the staircase hand in hand, he hesitated for just a moment, the weight of the decision bearing down on him. Together they were about to step into a whirlwind, and he wondered what if tonight changed everything for good. As they stepped out into the cool night, an unsettling mix of excitement and anxiety electrified the air between them. The moon hung low, casting a silvery glow across the pavement, guiding their steps toward Flora S. With each moment their hands clasped tightly together, a lifeline in the tumultuous sea of what lay ahead. Sam stole a glance at Clara, whose face was lit with a radiant determination. Her beauty shone more brightly than any streetlight nearby, and he felt a wave of gratitude wash over him. It was easy to get lost in her presence, to forget the weight of his family's expectations swirling in the back of his mind. Yet as they walked the thoughts crept back, hissing doubts like snakes. What if they made her feel small again? What if this bold choice tore them apart instead of bringing them closer? Clara must have sensed his internal conflict. She turned to him, her brow furrowed. Are you okay? He hesitated, struggling to find the right words. I want it to go well. It will go well. They'll see you. The real you. Her assurance felt like balm on his worries, but still, he felt that crawling itch of fear. When they finally reached the restaurant, Sam's heart fluttered like a trapped butterfly. This was it. He opened the door for Clara, the tinkling of the bell above announcing their entrance and somehow underscoring the importance of the moment. The familiar scent of garlic and basil wafted toward them, mixing with the clinking of silverware and the murmur of cheerful conversations around the room. It felt almost normal. But the normalcy faded when he spotted his parents sitting at their usual table, both of them mid-conversation, laughing. That laughter twisted into a knot in his stomach. As their eyes found Sam, the smiles dropped slightly, surprise flickering across their faces, a prelude to a confrontation that felt inevitable. Sam, we didn't think you were coming here tonight, his mother started, the warmth in her voice turning to questions. Hey Mom, Dad. Sam swallowed hard, words stuck in his throat. He felt an unyielding pressure bubble beneath his skin. Clara squeezed his hand tighter. Is everything all right? His dad asked, concern settling in his brow. Yeah, everything's fine, Sam managed, glancing at Clara. She nodded slightly, the encouragement he needed, and he continued, actually, I want to introduce you to someone. As he spoke, each word felt heavier than the last. This is Clara, my girlfriend. The phrase tasted new on his tongue, sharp and true. The silence that followed was deafening. Sam's parents exchanged quick glances, the air thick with their unvoiced disapproval. His mother's lips pursed, and he could see the thoughts racing through her mind. And just like that, the reality of the risk they were taking hit him. Clara's courage fueled him. But would his parents' acceptance come crumbling down around them? What do you mean, girlfriend? His father finally asked, voice taut. Sam, Dad, this isn't just a phase. She's important to me, Sam interjected, urgency tinging his voice. And I want you to know her. I want you both to understand. Clara stepped forward, her presence a steady flame amid the gathered shadows. I'm not here to cause problems. I care about Sam and I love him for who he is. Her gaze held steady, unwavering. Sam's heart raced. This was her moment, and she was taking a leap right alongside him. He could barely breathe as he awaited their reaction. Their faces were inscrutable, but the tension around them crackled like static electricity. Would they embrace the truth? Or would they recoil, sending them spiraling into a chasm of rejection? The silence stretched, and Sam felt the world narrowing around their little table. Then came the moment that would change everything. Clara's hand was still wrapped tightly around his, a tangible reminder of what they were fighting for. Would love really conquer all? Or would this be the beginning of their separation? And as Sam observed his parents' expressions, a mixture of disbelief and confusion, he couldn't shake the sense that this night could end either in acceptance or heartbreak. He held his breath, the flutter of uncertainty growing once more as he grasped the gravity of their choice. What would the next words out of his parents' mouths be? Would they pull him back into the folds of expectation? Or could love truly create a path forward where none existed? The tension hung in the air, thick and pungent. Sam felt time freeze, his heart beating in erratic rhythm against his ribs. He searched his parents' faces for a sign, any sign, that his choice to introduce Clara wasn't leading them to a heart-wrenching clash. Finally, his mother exhaled softly, as if she had been holding her breath for a long time. Sam, her voice wavered, and he noticed a flicker of something unreadable. Was it fear, confusion, or revulsion? She took a moment, collecting her thoughts before continuing. Maybe you'd like to tell us more about Clara? To surprise to us. His father nodded slowly, though his expression remained firm. Sam sensed a softening in the harsh lines of their distrust, just the tiniest crack in their resistance, and it filled him with cautious hope. Sure, Sam began, his voice steadier than he felt. Clara, she's passionate and smart. We met at school and she's been my biggest supporter. She has dreams of her own, and it's really inspiring. He glanced at Clara, her eyes shining with courage, a reflection of his own. But how long has this been going on? His father cut in, crossing his arms defensively. You know what we've always believed about relationships. Sam felt the sizzling burn of anger creep up his spine. Dad, this isn't a phase or some rebellious act. I really care about Clara. I'm not asking for permission. I just want you both to understand. The silence returned, wrapping around them again. Clara squeezed his hand tighter, grounding him. I understand this is unexpected, she said, her voice even but thick with resolve. But I truly care about Sam. We invest in each other's dreams and build each other up. Isn't that what love should be? The flicker of hope dimmed as Sam's parents exchanged another glance, one that was more wary than curious. Love takes time to grow, his mother murmured almost to herself. It's important to know what you're getting into. Mom, Clara interjected kindly, I understand your concern. I do. But relationships are about trust, support, and knowing the person under the surface. Sam knows me and I want to know him better. Are you really ready for this? His father asked, a challenge in his voice. To face ridicule? To deal with what some may think of this? Because it won't be easy. Sam's stomach twisted painfully, but he was done hiding. Nothing worth having is easy. If I care about Clara, all of that doesn't matter. The words hung there, and Sam's chest tightened as his parents remained silent. He could see the internal war reflected in their eyes. Part of them pulled back toward the safety of their expectations, while another part strained toward understanding. Sam, his mother finally said, her voice quaking with emotion, your happiness has always been our priority. We just want what's best for you. I know that, he replied, feeling the tension within himself begin to simmer with hope. And I believe Clara is best for me. I want her in my life and I want you to accept that. Clara's fingers intertwined with his as he watched his parents' faces change. There was uncertainty for sure, but also something warmer, a tentative acceptance now coated in vulnerability. Their eyes softened and just for a moment, Sam thought he saw a glimmer of acceptance shine through the doubt. Then his father straightened, his expression still resolute. We'll need time to think about this. Of course, Sam nodded, his heart sinking a little. I just wish you could see how good Clara is and how much she means to me. As they continued eating in uneasy silence, Sam locked his gaze on Clara. She smiled at him, and he felt a swell of affection and gratitude. They may not have reached a resolution tonight, but they had begun something new, a small step toward acceptance and understanding. Would love be enough to break through the walls his parents had built around their beliefs? And as they left the restaurant, the cool night air brushed against their skin, leaving Sam with a nagging thought. The real battle was just beginning. What would it take to win over the family he held dear? As they walked toward the parking lot, Sam's heart felt heavy with uncertainty. The night sky was a deep indigo, stars flickering like tiny hopes above them, but he couldn't muster the excitement he usually felt when he gazed upward. He could feel Clara's hand in his, a constant reminder of their connection amidst the turmoil. Are you okay? Clara asked softly, her voice a mellow hum against the night air. Think so. I want them to understand. They love me, you know? But what if they can't accept us? His words spilled out in a rush, the weight of the discussion still clinging to him like a shadow. Clara gazed at him, her eyes sparkling under the streetlights. You know, sometimes acceptance takes time. It's not just about us, it's their journey too. We have to give them space to process. He nodded, acknowledging her wisdom. I just wish it could be easier. Why does it have to be so complicated? Because love is complicated. But it's also worth the fight, Sam. Her confidence was contagious, and it enveloped him like a warm blanket on a cold night. As they reached the car, silence enveloped them again. They both climbed in, and with Clara by his side, he felt some courage returning. The engine purred to life and Sam navigated through the familiar streets of their hometown, the landmarks carrying memories of carefree days before the complexities of life had anchored them. Clara turned to him, serious yet smiling. Can we talk about something else? Something fun? Yeah, sure. What's on your mind? He asked, grateful for a distraction. What's your dream date? If we could go anywhere. She leaned in closer, her excitement contagious. Sam chuckled, thinking of the possibilities. Maybe this cliff by the lake? Staring at the stars, a bonfire. Some s'mores, that sounds perfect. Clara's eyes sparkled, and he could feel the warmth radiating from her enthusiasm. And we could even bring hot chocolate. Of course, you can't have a bonfire without hot chocolate. He smiled, feeling the tension ease away as they talked about their dreams and silly hypotheticals. Their laughter filled the car, wrapping around them like a protective barrier against the world outside. As they approached Clara's house, the reality of the evening's earlier conversation settled back in. Hey, can I ask you something? Clara's voice turned serious again. Sure, anything. What if tonight was our last chance to make it clear to your parents that we belong together? Sam blinked, taken aback. You think so? I just wonder if there's something we can do, something to show them how serious we are. He mulled it over, enthusiasm battling with doubt. We could come up with something. Maybe I could ask them to meet with us again? But talk is cheap, Sam. They need to see our connection, feel it, you know? Something tangible. What do you have in mind? He asked. Clara's expression lit up with determination. Let us plan that starry night. We'll show them how we honor each other. The way we listen and lift each other up. If they see how happy we make each other, they might just come around. Sam's eyes widened, realizing she was right. Okay, let us do it. A bonfire under the stars. But what if they say no? A thoughtful pause filled the space between them. Clara placed her hand on his knee and squeezed. Then we'll go back to square one. I believe in you, Sam. And I believe in us. Filled with newfound resolve, Sam nodded. His heart was racing, but this time it was with excitement rather than fear. All right, tomorrow it is. Let us tell them we're ready to show them everything. As Clara exited the car, she turned back one last time, her smile radiant. Ready for the next chapter together? Absolutely, he replied, feeling a surge of hope. Driving home alone, the world outside dimmed until only his thoughts echoed in his mind. This was the beginning of something bigger than just love. It was about persistence, connection, and bridging divides. But deep down, Sam wondered, would the showcase of their bond really be enough to convince his parents? And as the streetlights flickered by, he knew that whatever came next would either strengthen their love or test it in unforeseen ways. Sam woke up the next day with a mixture of excitement and nerves swirling inside him. The sunlight streamed through his window, illuminating the room in a warm glow that felt almost like an omen. He sat up, the weight of the upcoming evening pressing on his mind. Okay, Sam, this is it, he muttered to himself, splashing water on his face in an attempt to shake off his anxiety. Today he would stand up for what he believed in. Today he would show Clara's importance to him and hopefully to his parents too. After breakfast he texted Clara, his thumbs flying over the screen. Ready to plan our night? He felt a flicker of hope each time his phone buzzed with her replies, each message igniting his enthusiasm further. They met at their favorite coffee shop, a cozy place filled with laughter and the smell of roasted beans. Clara arrived, her hair tousled and her smile bright. I've been thinking about how we could make it memorable, she said. settling into her seat with an eagerness that made him grin. What ideas do you have? I was thinking decorations. Maybe some fairy lights to create that perfect vibe with the bonfire? Absolutely. And we can make a playlist of our favorite songs, something we can share with them while we're roasting marshmallows, he added, picturing the scene unfolding. Clara's face lit up. Yes. And let us write down some of our favorite memories together. It'll show them the depth of our connection. As they discussed ideas, the coffee shop faded away, becoming a background hum to their vibrant plans. They laughed, teased each other, and cemented their hopes for the night. It was thrilling to think they could create something truly special, leaving an indelible mark on his parents' hearts. Later, Sam went home, his heart thundering in his chest. It was time to talk to his parents. He found them in the living room, where his mom flipped through a magazine and his dad watched a sports game. Hey, can I talk to you both for a minute? He began, hesitant but determined. Sure, bud. What's up? His dad looked up, the game momentarily forgotten. I want to invite you to something. Clara and I are planning a bonfire tonight and we'd really like for you to come. We want to show you how much we mean to each other. The room fell still. His mom put down the magazine, and his dad sat back in his chair, the atmosphere thickening with tension. Sam, we've talked about this. His dad's voice carried a hint of concern, and Sam felt his heart sink. I know, but this is important. I love her. And I want you to understand that what we have is real. It's not just a phase. I believe you'll see how great we are together when you come tonight. His mom exchanged a glance with his dad, and the silence felt oppressive. Sam's palms grew clammy as he awaited their reaction. All right, we'll come, but we have some concerns, his dad started, but Sam cut him off. No, it's not about concerns tonight. Just give it a chance. As his parents nodded slowly, some of the tension released, but Sam's heart raced with the uncertainty of what the night would hold. Would the fire they lit bring warmth, or would it burn too hot, revealing cracks that couldn't be mended? As he set out to prepare for the evening, the questions swirled in his mind. Would showing his world to Clara's and allowing his parents to witness their bond bridge the gap? Could love truly conquer the deep-seated fears and reservations that had festered for so long? With the preparations underway, Sam felt the air crackle with possibility. The stage was set, and little did he know, the night held surprises that would change everything. Would their love shine bright enough to light the way? Or would shadows linger in the corners of doubt? As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue across the sky, Sam felt a mix of excitement and dread tightening in his chest. He arranged a few last-minute details in the backyard, a ring of stones to frame the bonfire, twinkling fairy lights draped from the trees creating a makeshift canopy. Each little touch felt like a step towards bridging the gap between his world and Clara's. When Clara arrived, the starlit scene transformed even further. She stood at the gate, eyes sparkling in the dusky light as she took in the glowing atmosphere. Wow, Sam! This looks amazing! She exclaimed, a genuine smile lighting up her face. Her appreciation infected him, easing some of his tension. Thanks, Clara. I just wanted everything to be perfect. He glanced nervously toward the house, where he could hear his parents chatting softly over the sound of the game drifting from the living room. Trust me, it already is, she replied, stepping closer to him. Tonight is about us and we'll show them that. As the evening progressed, families filtered in, drawn by the promise of warmth and connection. Sam's parents joined them with cautious smiles. Noticing the shift in the air, he felt a small but significant prick of hope blossom within him. Clara nestled against him as they huddled by the fire, all eyes watching the flames dance. After a few moments of comfortable silence, Sam decided it was time to take the plunge. Clara, want to share some of our favorite memories? His voice quivered slightly, and he glanced at his parents, whose expressions showed a mix of intrigue and skepticism. Sure, Clara replied, her eyes bright. How about the time we got lost during that hike and ended up finding that hidden waterfall? The laughter spilled out as they retold the story. Clara's animated gestures and Sam's chuckles echoed through the soft night air. With each shared moment, Sam noticed his parents leaning in a bit closer, their expressions softening as they took in the bond he and Clara shared. Then, like a quiet storm, future words pressed against his mind. Mom, Dad, he began, but the words caught in his throat. The flickering firelight cast shadows on his parents' faces. In that pause, Sam's heart raced. Would this be the moment that could either shatter or mend their hearts? Can I tell you something? His voice wavered. What I feel for Clara isn't just a fling. It's real. I want a future with her. The world around him fell still, anticipation thickening the air. Sam, it's not that we don't care, his dad started, but Sam raised a hand, his voice steady now. Just listen to us tonight. Let us show you the truth of what we have. Clara's hand found his, her warmth grounding him amid the rising fire's intensity. He could feel her pulse echoing his own, a steady reminder of their shared resolve. It was important, but as they continued to share stories and melodies into the night, an unexpected voice broke through their circle. So, how serious are you two? It was Clara's dad standing at the edge of the yard. His face held a mix of curiosity and apprehension. The sudden intrusion sent a wave of unease washing over Sam. His stomach tightened. Was this the moment they'd been building toward, a confrontation that could either break everything apart or strengthen their bond? Clara exchanged a glance with him. Their resolve strengthened as murmurs filled the air, electrifying the moment. Serious enough to fight for, Sam replied, feeling the weight of uncertainty prick his heart. Would they be ready for this? The flames crackled, illuminating their faces as they turned to face the question looming in the darkness. The night was heavy with possibility, and Sam braced himself for the tide of emotions expected to follow. Would this unexpected twist deepen their connection, or drive a wedge between their families? Sam took a deep breath, his heart racing like a wild drum. Clara's father was a figure of authority, and he felt the eyes of all their family members on him. But in that instant he realized this was the moment of truth, a moment that could either bind them closer together, or tear them apart. Clara and I believe in each other. Our relationship, it means more than just fun or a phase. It's serious, and I want to be with her. The flickering flames of the bonfire reflected in his parents' and Clara's father's eyes, creating a dramatic backdrop against the weight of his words. Clara squeezed his hand, mirroring his determination. Her father didn't answer right away, only studying Sam and Clara as if searching for signs of authenticity. Tension swelled in the air, thick enough to cut. Do you really think you can just walk into our lives and expect us to accept this? Clara's dad finally asked, his tone firm but not hostile. Sam met his gaze head-on, no longer the boy who shrank under expectations. I understand your concerns, sir. I do. But love is about authenticity, and I can't hide who I am, or how I feel about your daughter anymore. Clara brings joy into my life, something I never knew I was missing, and I want to show all of you that. His father sat back, shock flickering across his face. Slowly though, an unexpected warmth filled his eyes. Son, it's not so easy for your mother and me to understand, but if you really feel this way. Before he could finish, Clara's dad chimed in again. What do you plan to do? Just jump headfirst into a life with someone from a different background? Yes, Sam replied, a fierce conviction rising in his chest. I want to embrace responsibility, not just for Clara but also for myself. I'm ready to create something meaningful and tangible. Clara's father's eyebrows raised slightly. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Before Sam could speak again, Clara's voice cut through the lingering silence. Dad, please believe me. Sam isn't just letting whims guide him. He's fighting for something real, and I'm doing the same. We support each other, lift each other up. Don't you want to see us happy? Time hung between them. Sam felt the tension crackle, just as the fire popped and sparked. The concerned expressions of their parents felt heavy but softened by hope. Sam could see that Clara's father, the once intimidating figure, now held a glimmer of curiosity. Okay, he said, voice now laced with understanding. But this isn't going to be just about your feelings. You'll have to put in the work to show us that this is real. Sam felt the rush of relief wash over him, but he remained focused. I will. This is not a game to me. I want to prove to you all that love transcends expectations. We can build a life together, a family where we support each other, challenges and all. I want to share a future with Clara that will make us all proud. Sam felt the corners of his parents' lips lift slightly, interest sparkling in their eyes. A gesture of acceptance, perhaps. Clara beamed, and for the first time the weight on Sam's shoulders eased just a little. Then Clara's dad spoke again. All right, son. Show us then, and we'll be there to see it. Thank you, Sam replied, his voice thick with gratitude. As the evening continued, they started sharing stories of their favorite family moments, laughter echoing through the air. The fire flickered beside them, casting a warm glow in the night. With every moment, feedback flowed between them, stories of love and connection filling the gaps that had once felt insurmountable. Sam watched Clara radiate joy, her smile brighter than ever. He glanced at her father, whose expression, while still searching, seemed to soften as he laughed along with the tone of their shared memories. By the time the last embers of the bonfire began to die down, a sense of unity filled the air, stitching a newly woven fabric of their lives together. Maybe acceptance wouldn't arrive all at once, but seeds were planted and hope flourished as they wrapped up for the night. Clara met Sam's gaze, her eyes glistening with pride. "You did it, Sam. We showed them." "Together," he replied, pulling her into a warm embrace. Under the stars, wrapped in warmth and belonging, Sam realized that love does conquer all. But it takes vulnerability, authenticity, and the courage to fight for it. In this shared journey, they were no longer just Sam and Clara, they were a family forged through love, ready to face whatever came next together. And just as they turned to walk inside, a soft glow of laughter rang out behind them, steady and unwavering, a promise that they would always be standing strong side by side. Now, if you felt that warmth in your heart as I did, you need to subscribe now to the channel. Don't miss a single moment of these exclusive stories, because believe me, this is the moment to show your support. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm that helps share these beautiful stories. Comment below what you felt about this heartwarming ending. Let's start a conversation. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who truly need to see this transformation. They deserve to know that love can triumph above all.